Kody Brown's life is far from normal. Where most families consist of one mom and a lone home, Kody boasts four wives: Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn. Collectively, they live in a household with laughs, fights, and a whopping 18 kids. For anyone entering their reality, it can be overwhelming. But for Kody, it's a masterfully controlled system of love, faith, and duty. This is the tale of a man attempting to reconcile his devotion to his faith, his affection for his wives, and his responsibility as a father in a world that commonly misunderstands him. Kody's path into polygamy did not start overnight. He was raised in a Mormon household and was brought up surrounded by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints teachings. But unlike mainstream Mormonism, which officially disavowed polygamy in the late 1800s, Kody was drawn to fundamentalist beliefs that continued to support it. To him, polygamy wasn't a choice of lifestyle. It was a calling of the spirit. He felt that by marrying more than one woman, he could create a family that realized God's ideal of oneness, commitment, and devotion. Utah life is both a blessing and a test for the Browns. Utah has always been linked to Mormonism, which provides Kody with a community that at least partially comprehends his faith. However, polygamy is still illegal, so the Browns have to tread carefully around legal lines while keeping their home intact. Theirs is not a show about love. It is about survival, subtlety, and religion. The logistics of caring for such a family are mind-boggling. Consider a morning routine involving 18 children who must have breakfast, school lunches, and transportation to school. There is a wife who tends to her portion of the house, but some coordination is necessary to avoid pandemonium. Kody spends his days working, fulfilling church responsibilities, and attending to the needs of each wife and child. Evening times tend to be the most complicated, with Kody swinging from wife to wife's house, so each feels heard and served. Meri, the initial wife, was Kody's partner from the start. The relationship is strong, but tense. Meri continually grapples with the fact that Kody spends time with the other wives. Throughout the years, the two have had times when they grow distant, argue, and struggle with individual issues. Still, she is a unifying figure in the family dynamics, her experience and wisdom influencing many of the decisions within the home. Janelle, the second wife, is a strong-willed woman with a sharp tongue. She disciplines numerous children and domestic duties with an iron fist, usually playing the peacemaker when there are disagreements. Janelle's relationship with Kody is one of passion combined with practicality. She demands equality, organization, and respect, earning her an important role to play in maintaining the family life as balanced as possible. Christine, the third wife, is the family's source of nurturing energy and organization. Her household tends to be the center for shared meals, family gatherings, and celebration. Christine is great at being a parent while maintaining her own personal ambitions and goals. Her interaction with Kody is one of patience and emotional support, frequently smoothing over problems that develop within the home. Lastly, the youngest wife, Robyn, joined the family later and provided a new outlook. Her dynamism and inquisitiveness revamped aspects of the family life, necessitating adjustment on both Kody's part and that of the other wives. Robyn's entry into the family seemed to accentuate the precariousness of polygamous unions, where newcomers can realign the home balance so easily, both for better or worse. The emotional dynamics of such a family are complicated. Jealousy, competition, and misunderstandings are unavoidable, but Kody makes an effort to be equal to all wives, giving attention, support, and love. Communication is central. Weekly meetings, open dialogue, and ongoing negotiation keep resentment from developing. It's a lifestyle that takes patience, empathy, and the ability to compartmentalize feelings without diluting love for anyone. Being under the public spotlight is just another source of stress. The Browns are reality TV celebrities from Sister Wives, which premiered in 2010. Their every step is documented by cameras, from mundane to extraordinary. This may provide viewers with a voyeur's look into polygamous life, but it also makes the family subject to constant criticism. Every fight, every choice, and every family gathering is televised to the millions, opening the door to judgments from strangers who commonly misinterpret their way of life. Kody himself is no stranger to controversy. Some view him as controlling or overindulgent, Others find him inspiring in his devotion to his ideology and his family. He treads a thin line, presiding over a household bigger than most entire suburbs, while attempting to be attuned to the needs of each wife and each child. The pressure is overwhelming, but he perseveres, convinced that the family structure is God-given. Faith underpins every decision the Browns make. Their polygamous lifestyle is not just a social experiment, it is an expression of religious devotion. Kody often emphasizes the spiritual component, explaining that love and commitment are multiplied when shared across a family, rather than confined to a single relationship. For him, this belief justifies the complexities and sacrifices required to maintain harmony in a household of 4 wives and 18 children. But beyond the faith and the planning, the Browns' existence is punctuated by mundane human experience. Birthdays, school functions, family vacations, and morning routines anchor the family in reality. The children, despite being a part of an unconventional home, struggle with much the same issues as children everywhere: school stress, sibling competition, and learning to navigate relationships among multiple parental figures. The parents must ensure that each child feels loved and supported, a task that requires meticulous attention and emotional intelligence. The story of Kody Brown and his wives is ultimately one of adaptation and resilience. They challenge conventional norms, facing legal, social, and emotional hurdles that most families never encounter. Yet they persist, guided by faith, love, and a shared vision for what family can be. Their existence is a testament to the fact that family does not always exist in terms of quantities or form. It exists in terms of commitment, care, and the desire to endure life together, regardless of how unorthodox the journey proves to be. Ultimately, Kody's family is a mix of order and chaos, harmony and discord, tradition and flexibility. Both wives bring their own personality, strengths, and view to the table, making a house that is colorful, difficult, and incredibly strong. It's a family unlike any other, one that multiplies love instead of dividing it, and one that continues to grow stronger in the face of outside criticism and internal challenges. Theirs is not a tale of perfection. It is a tale of humanity, religion, and commitment. A tale that challenges audiences to think again about what family is, what love is, and how far one will go to uphold both belief and commitment. And for Kody Brown, each day in this remarkable home is an opportunity to live his faith, care for his family, and meet the world head-on with unshakable determination. In a family as big and complicated as the Browns, every wife is more than a wife. She is a universe unto herself, complete with her own aspirations, setbacks, and opinions. To learn about Kody Brown's life, you need to learn about the women he shares it with. Each marriage is different, each relationship individual, and each home dynamic colored by love, sacrifice, and sometimes strife. Meri Brown, the first wife of Kody, carries a lot of history in her. She married Kody young and became the matriarch of sorts over time. Her story is one of love and hardship, as she tries to find her place in a family that keeps growing. Meri has faced personal challenges, including periods of emotional distance and conflict with Kody, which have tested the resilience of their bond. Despite these trials, she remains central to the family's foundation, her wisdom often guiding decisions and offering stability when the household feels chaotic. Meri's relationship with Kody is layered. It is built on history, shared experiences, and deep familiarity, but it is not without strain. Early on, she had to balance expectations of marriage with the reality of sharing her husband with 3 other women. This is a dilemma few can imagine, balancing individual needs, jealousy, and love in such a way that keeps the family peaceful. Meri has had to develop patience, emotional strength, and self-care while being a supportive partner and mother. Then there's Janelle Brown, the second wife, whose personality contrasts with Meri's in striking ways. Janelle is outspoken, confident, and fiercely independent. She manages her household with precision and expects fairness in her marriage. Her relationship with Kody is a delicate dance of passion and pragmatism. She is protective of her children, assertive about her own needs, and unafraid to speak up when tensions arise. Janelle's position in the family tends to be that of mediator, organizer of joint responsibilities, and keeper of household routines. She works best under control and order, aspects that are required in a home with 4 wives and close to 24 children. However, under her calm demeanor, Janelle grapples with the emotional intricacy of belonging to a polygamous union, a situation that calls for compromise, tolerance, and occasionally unspoken sacrifice. Kody Brown is the third wife, who adds warmth, organization, and a soothing influence to the family. Kody is caring, balancing being a mother with her needs and duties within the home. She tends to be the glue that holds various elements of the family together, arranging schedules, hosting family gatherings, and making sure children are getting attention and care. Kody's relationship with Kody is characterized by emotional support and patience. She frequently intervenes in fights, diffusing tension among her co-wives and fostering harmony. Kody is practical in her approach to polygamy. She is concerned with creating a working, loving home and still living for herself and her aspirations. Her house is frequently a meeting place, a place of activity where children frolic, chores are done, and the heartbeat of the family is tangible. Last, there is the youngest wife, Robyn Brown, who joined the family later than the others. Robyn introduced new vitality, ideas, and problems to the family dynamic. Her adaptation necessitated changes not only from Kody, but also from her fellow wives, pointing to the inherent delicacy of balance in polygamous families. Robyn's youth and inquisitiveness bring life to the family, but she must also contend with expectations and set routines established by the older wives. Robyn's story is one of establishing her place, taking her role, and establishing bonds with children she didn't raise herself. She has the challenge of being the youngest wife, establishing her worth, untangling the intricate emotional web of the family, and maintaining harmony without sacrificing her own pursuits. But with her comes joy, playfulness, and a fresh sense of purpose into the home. The communication between the wives is as important as each of their relationships with Kody. In a love-sharing home of 4 women, respect and communication are key. Weekly family meetings, open conversations, and deliberately negotiated schedules ensure that everyone gets to be heard, seen, and appreciated. These systems support controlling jealousy, avoiding misunderstandings, and working together. The wives have to find a balance between the needs of their own selves and the family as a whole, a feat that needs emotional intelligence, patience, and flexibility. The children also mold each wife's life. With 18 children to tend to, the women work together, supporting their kids through school, sports, and the trials of growing up in an unconventional family. Each child's emotional health is important, and the wives frequently consult on parenting choices, from punishment to celebrations, so that each child is treated equally and supported. But living in the limelight brings extra complication. As sister wives stars, the Browns' every decision, every spat, and every hug is seen by millions. Each of their wives is scrutinized publicly, criticized, and judged by viewers who frequently don't get the subtleties of polygamy. Meri, Janelle, Kody, and Robyn have to juggle this with being real, keeping their kids safe, and keeping relationships intact. In spite of these demands, the wives enjoy moments of happiness, friendship, and self-improvement. Birthdays, vacations, and celebrations are used as possibilities to bond and make memories. Each wife brings her own personality, abilities, and creativeness to the family, so that the home is lively, working, and loving. Faith is what motivates the wives to serve the family. Polygamy, to them, is not just a social norm. It is a religious practice that requires sacrifice, patience, and dedication. Their shared beliefs create a system for dealing with difficulties and staying united. Each wife knows that she is not only a wife to her husband, but also to the entire family, spreading harmony, stability, and love throughout a household that many could never dream of taking on. Ultimately, the tale of Kody's wives is one of resilience, flexibility, and strength. Meri, Janelle, Kody, and Robyn are not just partners, they are leaders, caretakers, and individuals who have their own dreams and points of view. They maneuver a life of adversity, public criticism, and personal sacrifices, but they persist in supporting each other and the family as a whole. Their stories tell the human aspect of polygamy, the laughter, the tears, the tensions, and the joys. They demonstrate that love comes in many shapes and sizes, and that family is not only about tradition, but about commitment, respect, and the determination to work in tandem through even the most complicated of situations. For viewers of Sister Wives, these women provide a window into the delicate dance it takes to keep a polygamous home together. They make clear the emotional work, strategic maneuvering, and individual strength it takes to keep relationships, raise children, and build a working, loving home. And all the while, they show that even within the most non-traditional family arrangements, love, fidelity, and devotion can flourish. Life for Kody Brown and his 4 wives is complicated enough within the house, but let the world outside come into the picture, and challenges multiply. Reality TV may provide the illusion of glamour, drama, and the occasional humor, but for the Browns, reality is an ongoing balancing act between love, legal peril, money, and media attention. Every day brings choices that can impact the family's safety, security, and togetherness. The legal dilemma, most likely the biggest issue that confronts the Browns, is the legal permissibility of polygamy. Though their religion is in favor of multiple marriages, American law is not. Polygamy is prohibited throughout all 50 states, including Utah, where the family lives. Kody and his wives have to dance around that reality with great caution. The Browns have practiced what is commonly referred to as spiritual marriage. Only Kody and one wife, Robyn, are legally wed. The other marriages are understood spiritually, but not legally. This requires them to be very careful in managing finances, ownership of property, and custody arrangements, so as not to be at odds with the law. They have relocated several times during the years, from Utah to Nevada, and back again, to balance religious freedom with legality. Timidly, the tale of Kody's wives is one of resilience, flexibility, and strength. Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn are not just partners, they are leaders, caretakers, and individuals who have their own dreams and points of view. They maneuver a life of adversity, public criticism, and personal sacrifices, but they persist in supporting each other and the family as a whole. Their stories tell the human aspect of polygamy, the laughter, the tears, the tensions, and the joys. They demonstrate that love comes in many shapes and sizes, and that family is not only about tradition, but about commitment, respect, and the determination to work in tandem through even the most complicated of situations. For viewers of Sister Wives, these women provide a window into the delicate dance it takes to keep a polygamous home together. They make clear the emotional work, strategic maneuvering, and individual strength it takes to keep relationships, raise children, and build a working, loving home. And all the while, they show that even within the most non-traditional family arrangements, love, fidelity, and devotion can flourish. Life for Kody Brown and his 4 wives is complicated enough within the house, but let the world outside come into the picture, and challenges multiply. Reality TV may provide the illusion of glamour, drama, and the occasional humor, but for the Browns, reality is an ongoing balancing act between love, legal peril, money, and media attention. Every day brings choices that can impact the family's safety, security, and togetherness. The legal dilemma, most likely the biggest issue that confronts the Browns, is the legal permissibility of polygamy. Though their religion is in favor of multiple marriages, American law is not. Polygamy is prohibited throughout all 50 states, including Utah, where the family lives. Kody and his wives have to dance around that reality with great caution. The Browns have practiced what is commonly referred to as spiritual marriage. Only Kody and one wife, Robyn, are legally wed. The other marriages are understood spiritually, but not legally. This requires them to be very careful in managing finances, ownership of property, and custody arrangements, so as not to be at odds with the law. They have relocated several times during the years, from Utah to Nevada, and back again, to balance religious freedom with legality. There is always the possibility of criminal investigation. Kody and his family have experienced raids, media attention, and public disapproval due to their unconventional lifestyle. Every choice, whether it involves money, property, or family time has to be balanced against possible legal consequences. Living in this kind of pressure demands foresight, planning, and constant vigilance. Financial challenges. It is no small undertaking to support a family of this magnitude. With 18 children, 4 wives, and several households, money is always an issue. Kody has been forced to establish several means of income, such as business opportunities, real estate ventures, and public speaking appearances. The family's reality show revenue adds to their means but cannot pay for everything. Each wife also plays her part, be it running homes effectively, caring for children, or seeking employment outside the home. Budgeting, planning, and prioritizing are necessary to avert disagreements and keep the family in harmony. Money can prove to be a point of contention in any home, but in a polygamous family, arguments regarding expenditures, inheritance, or pocket money could rapidly get out of hand if not managed with care. Emotional and relationship challenges. Maybe the most complicated issues that the Browns deal with are emotional. It's not simple to share a husband. With or without communication and respect, insecurities, competition, and jealousy can crop up. Attention, affection, and support must be shared by Kody among 4 wives, and he must see that no one feels left out or unappreciated. Meri, being the initial wife, has endured experiences of aloneness and emotional detachment as she works through being married to share with Janelle. Janelle, being protective and strong-willed, frequently demands equality and fairness, necessitating continuous negotiation. Christine's ability to remain calm acts to diffuse conflicts, but she also needs to protect her emotional boundaries. Robyn, being the youngest, frequently has to contend with discovering where she fits and garnering trust within the pre-existing family dynamics. The children also add emotional complexity. Each child has unique needs, personalities, and challenges. Sibling rivalries, differences in age, and relationships with co-parents require careful management. Kody and his wives work tirelessly to ensure every child feels loved, supported, and valued, despite the difficulties that arise from such a large household. Public scrutiny. Life in the limelight magnifies all troubles. Brown's life on Sister Wives has made them celebrities, but celebrity breeds criticism. Social media backlash, newspaper columns, and internet forums equal every action, disagreement, or raw emotional moment scrutinized and criticized. Their critics frequently misinterpret their way of living, blaming them unjustly or assuming they are dysfunctional when that is simply not the case. For the wives, public scrutiny can be particularly harsh. They are judged not only for their marriage choices, but also for their parenting, careers, and public behavior. Any misstep, real or perceived, is amplified. Yet, the family has learned to develop resilience in the face of criticism, relying on faith, love, and a supportive internal network to withstand public judgment. Physical and logistical challenges, managing 4 households, 18 children, and multiple daily responsibilities requires extraordinary organization. From meal planning to school drop-offs, the logistical demands are immense. Each wife has her own home, yet Kody rotates among them to maintain balance, meaning schedules must be meticulously coordinated. Transportation is a challenge in itself. Getting multiple children to school, sports, extracurricular activities, and social functions involves organization that could drain even the most schedule-oriented parent. The family tends to coordinate calendars, shared communication tools, and enforcing stringent routines to keep things under control. Emotional resilience and coping mechanisms. In spite of all these challenges, the Browns show a superb level of resilience. Their religion gives them purpose and perspective. Communication, which is not always ideal, is also a much-used tool for them to resolve conflicts and misunderstandings. Family meetings give the wives the space to vent, negotiate schedules, and re-establish trust. It also depends on humor and shared experience to keep emotions in balance. Celebrations, holidays, and minor everyday rituals serve to reinforce bonds and offer respite from pressures of public life, legal attention, and domestic management. All these remind them that despite challenges, their family structure offers special kinds of love, growth, and bond. The strength and unity where the Browns are unique is in their attempt to face these challenges together. Every wife knows that her interests are weighed against those of the families. Kody's job as husband and father is not just to give love, but to also coordinate, mediate, and be fair. The family's religion provides a structure for this, reminding them that their unusual structure is based on spiritual belief and vision. Even during times of conflict, the Browns strive to maintain harmony. Disputes are resolved through dialogue, not discord. Emotional tensions are resolved with understanding and compassion. Money and logistical problems are resolved together. It is this capacity to adjust, compromise, and stay unified that makes it possible for the family to survive challenges that would engulf most conventional families. Lessons from the Browns' challenges. Kody Brown's and his wife's lives are not merely a tale of polygamy. It is one of resilience, flexibility, and dedication. Their struggles teach us universal principles about family life, balancing resources, splitting attention, fostering relationships, and coping with outside forces. The Browns are what make the challenges they face on a much larger scale, to be sure, so unique in that they respond to them in unconventional means. With legal hurdles, financial hardships, emotional intrigue, and public criticism, the Browns lead a productive, loving home. Their lives prove that by virtue of faith, communication, and common goal, even the most complicated family dynamics can flourish. In the end, the Browns' tale reminds us that love isn't easy, and family isn't traditional. It is a daily dynamic of prioritizing feeling and believing. And for Kody, Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn, each new day is a chance to show their devotion, support one another, and walk the world united. No matter how twisty and turny the road ahead might be, every family has its highs and lows, but for the Browns, those moments are magnified. With 4 wives, 18 children, and a household that functions more like a small village than a typical family, life is a constant mix of laughter, tears, and everything in between. While the challenges are immense, so too are the moments of joy that make their unconventional life meaningful. Birthdays, for example, are a whole family affair. Consider 18 children with varying preferences, requirements, and personalities. Personal yet inclusive celebrations mean coordinating lots of events, and it calls for creativity, patience, and collaboration. Each wife is responsible for organizing parts of the celebration, ranging from the decorations to cakes, presents, and games. Kody shifts his focus between children and wives and makes sure that everyone is recognized. The final result is usually chaotic, noisy, and messy, but it is also rich in love, laughter, and memories that will last a lifetime. Another insight into the Brown family dynamic can be seen with family vacations. These aren't easy weekend excursions, they are logistical wonders. With so many people, traveling takes meticulous planning, from meals and accommodations to entertainment and transportation. However, when the family does gather in a new environment, the connection deepens. The children become close with all of their siblings. The wives work together in a way that strengthens unity, and Kody manages to spend moments with each wife separately. Even with the stress of traveling, these getaways become priceless moments, providing happiness that is worth the effort it requires to plan them. There are milestones like graduations, weddings, or even individual achievement that are celebrated with a fervor commensurate with the closeness of the family. When a child graduates, all 4 wives have a hand in the preparation, the ceremony, and the celebration that follows. All achievement is magnified, shared, and honored, so that no child will ever feel neglected. The family takes these opportunities to reinforce love, togetherness, and the need to support each other, giving the children lessons in cooperation and compassion that go far beyond conventional parenting. But joy is always paired with struggle. Quarrels among the wives, conflicts about parenting, and instances of tension during emotional outbursts are unavoidable in any family, but amplified when love is shared by more than one household. Kody often finds himself in the middle, trying to mediate disputes while maintaining fairness. Even small disagreements, like scheduling conflicts or differences in household rules, require negotiation. The emotional complexity of polygamy means that minor issues can escalate if not addressed with care, making conflict resolution a daily necessity. Emotional strain isn't limited to the wives. Children face challenges unique to their family structure as well. They have difficulty with jealousy, attention deficit, or the complication of having more than one mother figure. Brother-sister conflicts are exacerbated due to overlapping roles and differential attention each receives. Kody and his wives exert great efforts to have emotional balance, tending to use one-on-one time, family conferences, or therapy to resolve disagreements. Their aim is to foster a setting in which every child feels just as loved and cherished, regardless of the size and intricacy of the household. Ordinary moments can have emotional resonance. Family meals, for example, are functional and symbolic. They are also times of bonding, of shared stories and values taught. With so many children, the wives take turns coordinating, planning menus, and accommodating special diets. Family discussions during dinner indicate tension and affection. The kids learn patience, negotiation, and the need to listen, while the wives employ the time to unite and reinforce family ties. Religious holiday celebrations are especially meaningful. As a faith-led family, the Browns incorporate ritual, prayer, and tradition into daily life. Holidays such as Christmas, Easter, and spiritual milestones are commemorated in a manner that is both spiritually devout and family-centered. Each wife brings her own flair to the mix, resulting in a mosaic of traditions that blend seamlessly into a distinct family persona. These festivities are reminders that the Browns' family life, even though it is non-traditional in structure, is full of meaning and love. But for all the happiness, there is stress and sacrifice always present. Kody has to continuously switch his focus from one wife to another, making sure that each of them feels special without provoking jealousy. The wives themselves juggle personal desires, domestic duties, and emotional labor, sometimes putting their own needs aside for the sake of the greater cohesion of the household. Their flexibility, compromise, and reinforcement of each other is what keeps the household together, enabling flashes of joy to bloom in the face of inherent adversity. Humor is an important survival strategy. When there are 18 children in one household, laughter is frequently the tension breaker. Jokes, teasing, and impromptu games cut the drabness of duty and ease the emotional burden. Kody and his wives frequently employ humor to melt points of conflict and unite the children. Even during stressful times, laughter reminds all that family life can also be enjoyable and gratifying. Emotional resilience is developed in rituals big and small. Bedtime stories, mutual interests, or even quiet dialogues in personal spaces provide the wives and children with one-on-one connection with Kody as well as with each other. These are instances where they can cultivate love, offer advice, and reinforce values of respect, empathy, and collaboration. For the Browns, consistency within these rituals keeps them emotionally stable, even when the outside environment is critical or unstable. The family also experiences sudden crises, ranging from health problems to interpersonal disputes, which challenge their relationships. These situations prove the depth of their commitment to each other. The wives commonly intervene to help one another, while Kody is responsible for decision-making and mediation. The manner in which the family deals with trials proves their capacity to stay together, revealing that love in a polygamous home does not necessarily involve romantic attachment. It is about cooperation, perseverance, and responsibility. All in all, the Browns' life is a tapestry of highs and lows, interwoven with faith, love, and determination. Times of joy, birthdays, vacations, graduations, and minor daily triumphs are magnified by the size of their family, and difficulties, arguments, emotional struggles, and public scrutiny are amplified yet addressed with caution. The tension between the two is what makes their family life rich, meaningful, and authentic. Maybe the most amazing thing is the way that the family still expands emotionally amid all the problems. The children learn empathy, compromise, and patience, while the wives learn resilience, negotiation, and self-awareness. Kody himself develops every day as a husband and a father, learning how to deal with disagreements, be supportive of his wives, and lead his children through life's intricacies. Together, they create a family that is as distinctive as it is long-lasting, strong enough to weather storms yet rich in the abundant pleasures that come with family life. The Browns' tale has us remember that love is not a limited entity. In their universe, love does multiply. It fills all the nooks and crannies of their spacious home. Every struggle is a chance to grow, every celebration a shared moment, and every day a testament to their devotion to each other. Theirs is not the idealized conventional life, but one that is dense, vibrant, and full of human feeling that resonates far more widely than within their Utah walls. In the end, the Browns impart a basic yet important lesson that family, however defined, is all about commitment, love, and perseverance. It is about loving the mess, creating strength out of adversity, and finding meaning in the little things that make life worth living. With their ups and downs, the Browns show that even the most dysfunctional family configurations can succeed with a foundation built on love, faith, and commitment. At the center of the Brown family is a simple but overwhelming truth. Love is the adhesive that keeps all things in place. In a family with 4 wives, 18 children, and a life under the public eye of millions, love isn't merely an emotion, it is a decision, an everyday choice, and a law that governs life. For Kody Brown, every move is about maintaining that love, balancing his dedication to each wife, and making the children feel valued, protected, and loved. The religion of fundamentalist Mormonism is a guiding principle in the cohesion of the family. Kody and his wives adhere to the doctrines of fundamentalist Mormonism, which endorses polygamy as a religious practice. For them, their unusual family setup is not just a way of life. It's a reflection of their commitment to God. From parenting decisions to domestic arrangements, each choice is infused with their beliefs. Shared faith gives them a foundation that guides them through derision, court cases, and emotional pressure. It reminds them that their non-traditional path is not an error but a vocation, one that demands patience, sympathy, and unshakable dedication. Both wives enrich the core of the family in their respective ways. The first wife, Meri, offers history, experience, and stability. Her bond with Kody is established through joint experience, and she tends to act as a guide for family complexities. Her path has been one of challenge and uncertainty, but her commitment has shaped the foundation of the family. Janelle, the second wife, brings assertiveness, strength, and a sense of order. She guarantees equality, defends her children, and frequently acts as a mediator between co-wives. Her outspokenness at times creates tension, but it also instills balance, reminding the family that open communication and honesty will be the keys to harmony. Christine, the third wife, is a caring, structured presence. Her house is frequently the hub of family life, where children congregate, decisions are made, and parties are thrown. Christine's patience and emotional IQ facilitate conflict resolution and cohesion. She instructs her children, and occasionally her co-wives, on the importance of empathy, understanding, and teamwork. Robyn, the youngest wife, brings energy, inquisitiveness, and a new outlook. Her inclusion in the family necessitated adjustment, accommodation, and flexibility on the part of all. But her presence reinforces the home, reinforcing to the family that change can be for the better, and that love can grow to include new people without eroding the ties already formed. Kody's position as husband and father is the glue that holds these lives in place. He cycles through time among each wife, making sure to give attention, affection, and support to all. He resolves conflicts, advises the children, and holds a vision for oneness that demands a lot of effort. What others may view as a hectic or chaotic life is to Kody a calling to love without reserve, to govern justly, and to hold together the integrity of a home that breaks all rules. Parenting within the Brown family is a daunting responsibility. Each of the children has his or her own needs, personalities, and issues, yet Kody and his wives strive to make each child feel equally loved. It is a daily practice in empathy, responsibility, and working together. Children learn how to work out sibling rivalries, to honor the efforts of their mothers, and that love can be extended without being diminished. It is a delicate balance, one that requires constant awareness, patience, and intentionality. Public judgment brings another element of complexity. The Browns' reality on sister wives has catapulted them into stardom, but stardom invites scrutiny, assumptions, and criticism. Every fight, every choice, or every intimate moment is scrutinized, argued over, and sometimes misinterpreted by viewers who don't always understand the complexities of polygamy. Still, the family remains steadfast in their own values and not in what others think. They show fortitude in choosing being real over being accepted, and loyalty over validation from the outside world. The effective core of the family is founded on communication, empathy, and shared purpose. Family meetings, personal check-in, and open communication enable the wives to voice concerns, negotiate schedules, and preserve trust. Kody's job is not only to mediate, but to see that love is shared equally, that each wife has a voice, and that each child feels safe. In a household this large, emotional neglect is a constant risk, yet the Browns consciously work to prevent it, using intention and care to maintain balance. Parties and ceremonies continue to strengthen the family's core. Celebrations, birthdays, graduations, and even mundane everyday rituals are moments to bond. Each wife contributes her own unique personality and creativity to these occasions, allowing the home to be energetic, lively, and filled with togetherness. Children are raised with the love of many, surrounded by models, and in an environment where family is not an abstract concept, but living and breathing, and needs to be nurtured and tended. However, love in the Brown family comes with sacrifice. Every wife has to balance personal want versus other people's needs. Kody has to balance his affection without playing favorites. The kids learn to adjust to shared attention and navigate complicated family interactions. These are not sacrifices. These are choices, made willingly, and based on religion and respect for each other. The Brown family story is one of resilience and flexibility. Life is fraught with risk, legal risk, public scrutiny, financial stress, and emotional nuance, but the family continues on. They prove that love is not zero-sum. It can multiply, grow, and form connections that are deep and abiding. They also prove that family does not have to be a traditional structure. It can be a commitment to support, care for, and develop together, even in non-traditional ways. Kody Brown and his wives manifest the concept that family is not measured by numbers or legality, but by care, commitment, and shared purpose. Their narrative compels viewers to redefine love and family, look beyond societal norms, and accept the deep resilience necessary to hold such a household together. Ultimately, the core of the Brown family is not fame, money, or perfection. It is love put into action. It is shown in the everyday things: a reassuring word, a good joke, a birthday party, or a tense-reducing conversation. It is also seen in how the wives encourage one another. The children are directed, and Kody juggles his roles with commitment and intention. With each struggle, each disagreement, each public backlash, and each emotional test, the Browns stick it out with each other. They learn to grow, adjust, and evolve, proving that non-traditional families can work as long as they are founded on faith, understanding, and love. For Sister Wives viewers, the family provides more than entertainment. They provide understanding of human strength, the nuance of love, and the potential for family arrangements outside the mainstream. The Browns' existence reminds us that love is big, family is complex, and that commitment, patience, and prayer can forge unions strong enough to overcome the most improbable adversities. And maybe the most uplifting lesson of all is this: in a world that so often gauges love by ownership, the Brown family demonstrates that love can multiply, last, and generate a legacy that is as unexpected as it is lovely. Their hearts beat in sync, not because life is simple, but because they make each day a choice to honor, respect, and love each other, demonstrating that even the most intricate family can flourish when love is at its core.